Carbon neutral by 2030? Net zero by 2050? Your newsfeed on LinkedIn has blown up from ESG commitments from your organization, your competitors. Your inbox is inundated with new company policies and commitment statements. Change is afoot. It is happening. But what does that mean for you? What is all this ESG strategy talk? Maybe you're a drilling engineer focused on operations. Maybe you're in supply chain, contracts, or maybe you're in business development. So what is your call to action? What are you supposed to do to help implement your company's ESG strategy? How do you make yourself relevant in this quickly changing industry and in your quickly changing organization? What's a tangible first step to stay ahead or to contribute to your company's net zero initiatives? Or better yet, let's just cut to the chase. What's the quickest, easiest, simplest win for you? Let me be your dirty little secret to clean tech and oil and gas. I'm Ariana Carruth, CEO of Pure World Sustainability, a sustainable products company. We are acutely focused on ESG. Sustainability is quite literally in our name, and it is represented in every aspect of our organization, from business models to our energy reducing technology. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. How can I help? How can we help? How can PWS help you accelerate the path to net zero? Now, if I was a different type of CEO, I might take this opportunity to insert a bunch of corporate speak on ESG from a high level of the greater scope of what that means to all industry, to the organization. But I'm a woman that just cuts to the chase. And the chase here is, what is the value add that our technology can provide to you, your operations, and your organization? So we're going to keep it simple. And I'm going to just go over three main points: emission reduction, cost savings, and performance improvements. There's going to be a lot of charts and graphs and data and current rig market analysis that this marketing department from this company is going to throw up onto this video in production. So hold on to your seats while we walk through how our technology, in one example, can save the equivalent weight of 929 F-150 pickup trucks in CO2 emissions on just one rig over 100 days. All right, diesel savings. What does the adoption of the Zoom DX into your drilling operations save you on emissions? Okay, fair question. In short, we have been able to demonstrate that the Zoom DX offers a 33% reduction in CO2 from just one rig over 100 drilling days, which equates to over 2,000 tons, or the equivalent weight of 929 F-150 pickup trucks, saving the client $495,000, or 10% of standard AFE land well in the cost of diesel. Oh my goodness, let's recap here, okay? One Zoom DX technology package, one rig, 100 drilling days, 33% of CO2 reduction, and a 10% cost savings on a standard land well AFE. Well, there's your value add. There's your quick win. Yeah, that is exactly what you can take into management today to say, this is how I can reduce our CO2 emissions and save money for this organization. That's your tangible first step. That's how you personally accelerate your company's net zero initiatives and profit margins. I'm excited here because this is real. This is at arm's length. This is actionable today. This is immediately something that ticks that box of your ESG strategy. And I'm thinking of how I would feel as an employer if one of my employees came to me and said, hey, I can save 10% cost savings today. And in doing that, I'm also saving 33% in reduced emissions. And I've got to say, that is exactly the type of initiative and solution-based approach that our industry desperately needs to drive these initiatives from concept to actuality. From the pages of our many press releases and our fancy websites and all of our social media platforms to real physical adoptions of energy saving technology. So join me, jump from those pages of your social media accounts and your testaments about how ESG matters to you and it matters to your organization, and let me help you put a tangible action into play that meets and exceeds your initiatives. All right, I promised data, and I'm someone that delivers on what she promises. So let's further quantify my bold energy saving statements about our Zoom DX technology. But first, what is our Zoom DX technology? Some of you are already running it and saving and getting those carbon credits, and it's fantastic. Some of you may be new to PWS and our Zoom DX technology. It is a patented torsional oscillation control technology that is unlike anything else on the market. And when I say it's unlike anything else on the market, I mean it. I mean literally, technically different on design, components, function. Basically everything that matters when you go into the patent office of why is this different? Why should we give you a patent? That's why our technology is different. It is different. It is patented. And as a result of these differences, this technology comes into the marketplace and again, in a very literal sense, eliminates problems in the drill string to not only improve performance, but also save time, money, and of course, energy as a result. So let's talk loads. When it comes to field development, some of the most important initial work conducted is to ensure maximum reservoir drainage while working to a budget. Torque and drag, hydraulics, geomechanics all play a massive part in well construction, but also lead to rig sizing. This is where engineers look to the maximum loads that can be present or could be present when running operations. It's not surprising that these loads are directly proportional to the power a rig can produce and carry. Here is where our Zoom technology stands out, as from a hoisting perspective on torque and drag, Zooms have proven that they can reduce open hole and case hole friction factors for pickup and slack off. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to your ESG strategy? And what does that mean to your operations? Well, I'm just gonna give it to you straight because we've run the numbers. And if you're in the Middle East, that is a total potential savings of over 600,000 tons of CO2 and almost $28 million in fuel savings at 62 cents per gallon with the adoption of the Zoom DX. If you work for Aramco, that is a potential savings of almost 230,000 tons of CO2 and over $10 million in fuel costs, attributing to a 10% AFE land cost savings with the adoption of the Zoom DX. And in Latin America, you're saving over 290,000 tons of CO2 and almost $82 million in total fuel savings. If you work for Pemex, that is a total potential savings of over 204,000 tons of CO2 and $62 million in fuel savings with the adoption of the Zoom DX. In Europe, that is a potential savings of over 232,000 in CO2 and just under 50 million in fuel costs. China has a potential savings of over 332,000 tons of CO2 and over $25 million in total fuel savings at $1.05 per gallon. Asia Pacific is nearly 400,000 tons of CO2 savings and 140 million in total fuel savings at $4.80 per gallon. Africa, you're saving 137,000 tons of CO2 and 34 million in total fuel savings. And the US, get this, CO2 savings with the adoption of the Zoom DX into US operations would account for saving over 1.3 million tons of CO2 emissions, saving over $277 million in fuel costs. Pioneer Natural Resources could save over $12 million per year in fuel costs and reduce CO2 by the equivalent weight of 23,221 F-150 pickup trucks. Devon and Endeavor could also save 10% on their AFE land costs and 30 to 60,000 tons in CO2. Where do we get our numbers? That's a fair question, and I love to dive into the details. The data used to develop well drilling rig emissions is based on using the United States Environmental Protection Agency's non-road emissions model. However, we have had to adjust the model to ensure we focus on areas to which the Zoom technology covers, which comprises of 2 hole sections, 12 1/4 inch and 8 1/2 inch, and wells are horizontal with medium step out of 4:1 ERD ratio. We have also focused on electrical rigs, which are typically comprised of 3 large 1,500 horsepower each identical diesel fire engine generator sets that provide electricity to a control house called a silicon controlled rectifier, or SCR house. Electricity from the SCR house is then used to provide power to separate motors on the rig. In this configuration, there are dedicated electric motors used for the drawworks, hoisting operations, the mud pumps, and other ancillary power needs, such as lighting. In the world market today, electrical rigs are the most commonly used for drilling high-angle wells, to which the Zoom DX technology is adopted. A rig power consumption was loaded for typical drilling operations, back reaming, drilling, and tripping. Torque and drag models were conducted for loads and compared to actuals. Generator loading is assumed at 75-50. As such, fuel consumption is derived for 20 hours peak per day of drilling activity. We have also derived that a drilling rig will be active for 100 days of where the Zoom would be adopted. From a typical land well, we were able to model and qualify theoretical versus actual, with the results yielding more than the model. We have demonstrated that the Zoom DX savings outweigh the load that it adds to the pressure system by over 146 kilowatts per hour. This translates to the following savings on loads alone: 16% reduction in NOx, 16% reduction in CO2. Now, you may have thought that this in of itself would raise eyebrows. However, when you factor in a 20% improvement in on-bottom drilling time, with the savings becomes greater. That's a 33% reduction in NOx and a 33% reduction in CO2. Further to reducing emissions, improving drilling performance time saves on the cost of diesel. That alone is saving a client $495,000, which equates to about 10% of a standard AFE land well. Remember, these savings are for just one rig over 100 drilling days with one Zoom DX technology package. It is also important to note that the savings laid out to date are only reflective of diesel cost savings and emission reductions. Other key benefits of our technology and adopting our technology are, of course, time to first oil, improved wellbore, improved hole cleaning, improved third-party equipment durability, less trips, stuck pipe risk reduction, no need for complex pipe management strategies, removes the need for other expensive and effective TOC mitigation tools, and of course, it reduces logistical costs and emissions. Look, PWS is here to make this transition easier, tangible. We are here to provide quick and simple wins to your ESG strategy that will improve your AFE. We are an experienced and custom approach that is not in this industry to mitigate, but to eliminate waste in the field and in old industrial models. We are unapologetically different, a fresh approach with fresh patented technology. We like to keep it simple, honest, efficient, and cost-effective. Sustainability is in our name, and we are committed to all aspects of ESG. So join us in the future of Oil and Gas 4.0 with your action today to take your organization's commitment to net zero from paper concept, from LinkedIn, to operations where the CO2 and cost savings are very real, very affordable, and very easy and simple to implement with our technology. To learn more about our company and our energy savings technology, visit our website at pws-ce.com. And if you're interested in our ESG integrated training course focused on logistics, supply chain, management, accounts, HSE, process and production, please email our team at training@pws-ce.com. We welcome you and we hope that you join us. Our ESG well engineering training course is currently ongoing with sessions filling quickly, and we hope to see you there. Thanks so much for joining me again, and I hope to talk to you soon.